Howdy y'all, welcome to Unicycle delivery service for a review of it. This is going to be kind of a off-the-cuff short review. I'm kind of doing this at the last minute. The dev, or at least someone associated with the developer, contacted me a couple weeks ago, I think, asking me to do a review of it. So I agreed, and here we are. This is a iOS game. Technically iPhone only. You can play it on iPad, as you can see evident in this video. But if you try to search for it for iPad, you're not going to see it. The version I'm playing is actually a kind of a beta for a new version, if you will. It's technically not out yet, from what I can tell. They rushed me this patch because, well, the version they originally sent me was... that version was very buggy. It ran very poorly. It started. It was a very long load time. So they sent me this version that I'm playing here. This game is an excellent lesson in feature creep. It has 5 different game modes, plus VR support. It did not need VR. It did not need 5 different game modes. Frankly, the best version I played, well, the best game mode is UDS Man, where you're simply going around collecting packages. So perhaps that, and maybe one other where you're delivering stuff. It seems like the developers were just trying to throw everything at the wall, hoping it would all stick. I mean, you got zombies, you got monsters, you got enemies. You're in one game mode, you're taking down zombies. I mean, for a game that's about delivering packages on a fucking unicycle, this seems kind of really crazy. Also, as you can tell, I think they put too much effort in all the game modes and not enough in graphics and gameplay. You know, for instance, take a look at the landscape. The land textures are so low res. I'm pretty certain I've played N64 games, Nintendo 64 games, some original PlayStation games with higher res textures than that. And that it's unexcusable for such low resolution ground textures. And yet the main character, the titular Unicycle delivery guy, he's very in comparison high res, high fidelity, a very high polygon model compared to the ground. And even the meshes for the landscape are not that bad. That texture is just ridiculous. And I mean no offense to the developers, but really, this is what you need to do. Cut out everything but UDS mode and delivery mode. You don't need zombies. There's no reason for zombies in this game. Zombies are done to death. Focus on improving the gameplay of those 2 modes. Give the players more depth, if you will. They just feel so shallow and empty. Secondly, fix the controls. Try to make touchscreen controls. I mean, they're not much better, but I cannot stand, personally at least, cannot stand mobile games that have you actually move the goddamn whole fucking device just to turn. Oh, I'm going to turn my controller all the way to the right, well, iPhone or whatever, all the way to right to turn right. And it's sometimes it's either not sensitive enough, and I'm speaking generally here, not sensitive enough or overly sensitive, and it's no fun. Accelerometer controls are just horrible. I've never played a game where those type of controls have worked. They just lead to frustration. But on to other points. This should not be a game you have to buy. Make it free to play with some microtransactions, you know. Maybe additional game modes. Once you get those two primary game modes fixed up, work on the others and sell them as, you know, little expansion packs or whatever. But as the game stands, it's not worth even 99 cents. I'm sorry. I truly am sorry to say that, but it's really not. There's too much to this game. It's trying to do too much, and it does none of it well. It really doesn't. And let me reiterate, it's not a bad game per se. It's not a good game. But there are certainly worse games out there. And, you know, to like a little kid, you give them like UDS man mode, and they'll probably be entertained for quite some time. But as it stands now, it's just, I can't really recommend it unless it goes free. Especially the version that's on the App Store right now. I mean, that thing was just a mess. It did not display properly on the iPad, and it did not. It took so long to load on my iPod and iPhone, and that is just a ridiculous long period to wait. I mean, I can potentially at the end of this video stick it in just to show how long of a wait it was for that version, but it's just, you know, and if I don't, it was probably a good minute or two, but I mean, for a mobile game, that's quite some time. So overall, I'm not going to give this any sort of rating, you know, no 3 out of 5 stars or 7 out of 10 moons or, you know, 15 out of 372 Mars. No, I'm just going to say it's not a bad game, but it's not really a good game. The graphics are definitely in need of great improvement. And please, take out, you know, 3 out of 5 game modes. We don't need zombies. We don't need a mode where you're going around shooting zombies. You're not even really shooting them. As you'll see in the video, or have seen in the video. As you see in the video, you're just kind of aiming. I wasn't even tapping anything. It was just automatically shooting. That's just a waste. That's just stupid. I'm sorry. It's ridiculous. And you don't need that. So remove all the game modes except, just in my personal opinion, this is what needs to be done. Remove all the game modes except UDS Man and Delivery. Retool those graphics. Find some way to enhance the gameplay. And make it free with microtransactions. That could make this actually a pretty decent game. But as it stands out, it's at best an average game. At worst, it's below average. There's definitely worse games out there, but it's just, I wouldn't waste your time with it, honestly. It's great for a little kid, but for anyone else who's, you know, 15 or older, you're not going to get anything from this game.